Hello, welcome back. We're going pretty now. I'm doing a lovely pink page set with our fussy cut flowers. So, not difficult to put together this page really, and it gets stuck straight into our album. So the first thing to do is ink all your edges if you haven't done that, and then on the back of your pink square, just put your glue. Just check this glue to make sure that it would come out before starting. And no, it's not. Oh, it is there. So glue your little square to the blue mat. Let's just squidge that. We're going to make a little pocket with this. And I thought that pink check paper was a really lovely background just to put the flowers on. So next thing to do is to stick the flowers on. I still cut these out in the old-fashioned way with a pair of scissors. I really like that. I haven't invested in a scan and cut, as I think that takes the fun out of cutting out, depending on how much you're doing, of course. And then stick your flowers down. Let's just very carefully squidge them onto the page, or the piece. Uh-oh, we've lost one. I was so careful cutting that out. Like that, and then turn it over, and you want to put double-sided tape on the left hand side and the bottom on the underneath. So when you turn it over, of course it's the right hand side. Like that. And then we're going to stick it to our page. And it's going to come up just a quarter of an inch from the corner so that you get that checked border showing. And then all we need to do is put our photo mat together. So it's going to go in sideways like that. So we want to put the tab at the top. So let's just put a little bit of glue along there and stick the tab on. And I'm just going to line up that right hand edge so it looks like the tab is part of the photo mat, and then stick a lovely cutout on the top. Squiggle, squiggle. Mat it down. I haven't added anything to the back of this photo mat, but you could add a cream back to it if you wanted to. I've just left this one plain, and then it just slides into the page like that, however you want to put it in. So now all we've got to do is put the page into our album. So I'm going to do that with tape. So tape or glue all the way around the 4 edges. Don't forget your middle bit as well. Along the bottom. So quite a quick page to put together, this one. But we've got another pull-out mat to make for the next one. There we go. And take the backing strips off. And this was in 2 pieces, wasn't it? That's it. bring your album back in. It is looking lovely now. Oh, I missed a bit. Flip over past our blue page to here. Take off that little bit of tape. Put my glasses on. Let's get it the right way. And centre it up and stick it on down. That's right. So, let's take the mat out. So just without the mat in, it looks really pretty. And then pop the mat in. So that's that side, and now on this side we're going to make a pocket and do the coordinating page. So grab all your pieces, put me on hold, stop start. And the first thing we're going to start with is putting our page together. So you've got one larger piece and one slightly narrower piece, and just angle cut those top edges on the flap. Just cut the tabs off. I've done the top one, and just firm your crease down with your bone folder if you haven't done that already. It does make a difference. The page lies much flatter. And then with the tabs facing upwards, put double-sided tape on both of them towards the edge, but not right up to the edge, just in case your papers don't meet. Maybe it's a good idea to put the tape on and then trim the corners. Let's just trim that end off. And then let's do the large one first. So it goes this way. So it's right for you. So the large piece you want to have at the bottom, and you match the top edge of the smaller one up and fold it down. And then the bottom one's easy. That one just sticks on. She says, fingers crossed. Just make sure that the edges are straight. Just recrease mine. Have I twisted it? Just slightly. I should have left it, shouldn't I? That's okay though, because we've got a photo book to go in the underside. I can't say it, underside. And the next thing to do on there is to just stick your strip of pink paper. I'm just going to trim just the corners off, so when it slides in, she says, when it slides in, that's it, it just fits on there like that, just as a bit of decoration. And actually we could have stuck that on first, couldn't we, but never mind. So glue on the back of that one, and then you can slide it in. Get it straight and stick it down. So let's put that to one side and build up our other pieces, and then we can stick them onto our page. So the next thing to do is to stick the Patterns and Solids to the blue mat. You can go either side. I'm going to go the pale peach, but the spots look lovely too. So a little bit of glue around the edges, squiggle across the middle. Come on glue, don't give up on me now. And mat the two together with your nice little blue border around all the edges. Flatten it down. It really does help to spread the glue underneath as well, doing that. So we've got that little piece, and then we want to do the little pocket. So trim your cardstock, if you haven't done already, so that it fits your cut apart, keeping that bottom corner on around the flowers, and stick the two together. Pretty hearts. I love this pink, because it's not really pink, it's peachy pink, isn't it? Like that. Now I'd had a whoopsie here and cut that, but I'm going to stick it down with tape in a minute. So once you've got your piece stuck onto its mat, then flip over, and you want to put tape up this side and along the bottom. So I'm just going to take it straight across, like that. Extra bit at the bottom there, just to hold that corner on, and then come up this side to the top. Peel off backings. Don't want to come off. Come on. Not that in. Let's do that. Whoop. Very sticky. Tuck the ends under. Stick that down. Move the bits out of the way, and then you want to come up just a little bit away from the corner to match the other page, and stick it on down. Like that. And then this piece gets stuck to our paper. Now, if you want to make a pocket out of this, then obviously leave the top open, turn over and put your tape or glue around the sides that you want to on the back. So we'll do a pocket, might not put anything in it, but it's there if we wanted to. And then just put it, to give yourself an extra bit of height, put it 1/2 inch up from the bottom and the sides, like that. And then if you want to add something in the top, you've still got space to do that, like that. So the last thing to do is to put our photo mat together. So here it is. And I'm going to put the tab on first, top right. Like that. And just line up the top edge, she says. Come on, tape. And then stick the cream paper in place. Now I have gone around the edges of this with the tattered floral ink, not tattered floral, tattered rose. It's already got a lovely distressed look to it, an aged look, but I've just sort of brought the pink into it as well. And then, let's do it with the bone folder, we've just got our flower spray to put on. So take your flower spray. Now this one is the one that's got the rosebuds. It's sort of more vertical than the other one, because they're all slightly different. So glue on the back of all the little pieces. Twiddle around. Back of the flowers. A little bit down the middle. Squidge it down a little bit. And I'm going to put it in the centre. Like that. Just flatten it down. And then just very carefully. It's got a really Victorian feel to this. That decoupage, you know, vintage decoupage look to it, which I love. There we are. That's ready to go in our page. And I thought, stuck that down, just make sure that all your little ends are stuck down. I thought that sort of lifted the page and toned it in with the other side as well. So now we're ready to put it onto our bigger page. So let's bring that in and pop it on down. So I'm going to use tape again for this. So tape or glue all the way around the back of your page, or piece, assembly. I'm going to run out of tape. One in the middle. Pull the backing strips off. And with the opening to the right, stick your piece onto your page so that you've got that nice narrow border everywhere, like that. And then the whole page is lifted. The coordinates, the blue coordinates with all the flowers, the pink looks gorgeous, and it's ready to go into our book. So, last one to go in the book now. Bring the album back in. It's going to slide onto that last, she says, it will. It's going to slide onto that last tab like that and sit perfectly between the top and bottom edges of our book. So how pretty does that look? So I would recommend tacky glue, but you can use tape or tacky glue, and it needs to go on both sides of this spine. And then we're going to sandwich it in between the pages. So you can open it up from the other side, drop it on to the spine, and then you've got some jiggle time. So then you want to straighten it up so that it sits perfectly straight between the top and bottom edges of your album cover. But you also want to make sure that it doesn't catch when you flip it backwards and forwards before you really stick it down. So once you're happy with it where it is, then really firm it down onto your spine mount. Harder to do this side. And ta-da! We have got the last of our pages in our book. So now we're going to make the photo mat, or the fold-out mat that goes into this section. And then we've only got 2 pages left and we've done it. So gather up your pieces for this flippy out section and we'll put it together. So to put our pocket section together, this is our pull out section, we want to stick the bottom pocket section in place. I have shaped my edge and shaped the paper. I used the Dynamics file folder edgings, and to shape it I just put the two edges together of the paper, cut it, and then if you move the pink paper down to where it should sit, you get a nice edging. So I've used that on that piece, and then I've also cut one for the top as well. So do that with whatever shape. You can use on your edge dies, all sorts, but I quite like those little edge pieces. So let's stick this one. I'm going to rub out the tape. Actually, I'm going to put the tape on the bottom of this piece with the flap just folded up. And then stick this one in place. So I'll do it towards you. Oh, I don't know, I can never do this. Let's do it this way. So line it up that side, and hopefully it will line up this side. Perfectamundo. And then open it out, and on the inside put 2 strips of tape, but don't take the backing off at the moment. And then let's put our papers onto our pocket section. So checked one. Maybe I'm going to have to finish the book off with the glue. I think if you tape everything, you would use at least 2 rolls of score tape in this album, which is a lot of tape, but it does give a nice finish. Okay, so centre your checked paper onto your pocket, stick it down. Let's get the old bone folder going. Like that. And then while we're doing this, let's do the top flap as well. So it's the back piece, it doesn't matter which way you cut this, but it's the flowery one. So that's going to go on like that. But before I put that on, I want to, do I want to add the border? Over the top. No, I'm going to put the paper on first. So stick that on. So stick yours on. You could use a small tab on here. You could use a magnet to close it if you wanted to. But I've just thought we'd keep it simple. And use an edging because I haven't used any edgings at all. And then, if you're using or adding a border strip, put tape strip across the back, and then I'm going to line the bottom edge of the blue up with the bottom edge of the blue cardstock on the page, like that, and then just recut the corners with the stubby. Well, not so easy to do that. I might have to turn it over and do it by hand because the shape's in the way, and now I can't find the little scissors. Where could they possibly have gone on this table full of stuff? Let me just have a rummage under here. No, they can't be far away. We'll have to do it with the large ones. That's not good. Not the same, is it, doing it with the large? But done it. So then you get a nice blue cardstock shape on the other side. So now that's on, we can put our stamp strip so that it just sits over the top of that border, like that. Now if you wanted to add a cardstock border to your stamp strip, do. I haven't, mine's just going to go straight on. Well, let's just have a look, see what it would look like. Oh, decisions, decisions. Yes, maybe we will. We've got another one. Maybe we won't, because I had that one to go down there and that one like that. So no, I'm not going to, but of course you can if you want to. So my stamp strip's going to just sit on the top like that. And because I'm running out of tape, I'm going to stick it on with glue. So do the same, stick your stamp strip on, with or without your border strip, when you've finished deciding. It takes ages, doesn't it? Deciding. And then the stamp strip is the same length as the papers. So just fit it on like that. And then we've got a nice flap. And then we'll add the bottom piece down here. Little band. I thought it just finished off that empty space. Just move it along a little bit, like that, and it's moved. So mat your two pieces together, try and get them straighter than mine. Now you can add this as a belly band if you want, just by sticking either end, so that you have got somewhere just to pop an extra something. Shall we do that? So glue either end. And you want to stick it in place so that it's under where your flap folds over. And then follow the line of the checks to help you get it straight. And stick it down. Trim it if you need to, if it's just a bit longer. And then let's really firm it down with the bone folder, never to come up again. So that's the front of our pocket done. Now let's open up and do the inside. So only two pieces to go. We've got the piece at the top up here, so let's get that into place. Mine is, oh no, that's that little one, no wonder it doesn't fit. So piece at the top. So again, let's stick it in with the glue. We're going to borrow a photo mat because I think there was too many in a page that we did 2 pages ago, the blue page. So we're going to borrow the little photo mat that had the little boy on and put him in this page. So one piece at the top. Oh, look at all of that coming out. Amazing. Do the same that side. And then the second piece. And then once this one's down, we can do the pocket up. You couldn't flatten it down like that with your hand. That's that. Now we can take those bottom strips off. And stick the pocket section in place. Now when you stick it in place, just push the sides slightly so that you get the centre lifting up just a little bit. And then here is our little photo mat, and he's just going to slide in there like that. And then the last thing to add at the top is our Precious Memories cut out up there, or you can choose whichever you fancy putting up the top. So let's stick that there. Mount it on its mat. I have just used my gloss glue to add a little bit of sparkle to that. I don't know if you can see. So that was just, I quite like this gloss glue rather than using glossy accents. It dries really quickly, whereas the glossy accents takes quite a while to dry. So if you want to add this as a pocket, put just a couple of strips of double-sided tape across the back on the bottom, and then you can pop something behind it if you want to, rather than sticking it down completely. So it has a function, and then just pop it on there, like that. And then there is just a little place up there. So we've got belly band down there, tag in the middle, photo mat, a little something or other to go under there. The whole thing shuts up. Now, let's test it. Does it go in our page? And again, I haven't put anything on the back, but you can come back and add papers on the back if you want to. But I thought it went with that page set, and it slides in there like that. You can have it so it just sticks out over the edge of the page if you want, or you can push it in a bit further. Actually, it does just sit slightly out. And that's it. That's the last of our pull-out sections. So now all we've got to do is the last 2 pages. So I'll see you back in the next video to do those.